Disney has reimagined many classics with great success, but the latest live-action Snow White is an utter disaster. Let's explore the 5 key reasons behind its unexpected downfall and what it means for the future of Disney remakes. The original Snow White was Disney's pioneering animated feature, a great story which enchanted audiences worldwide with its groundbreaking animation and timeless story. I even have an old VHS of the original Snow White. This live-action remake aimed to modernize this beloved tale, featuring Rachel Zegler as Snow White and Gal Gadot as the Evil Queen. The film was part of Disney's ongoing strategy to bring classic animated films to a new generation through live-action adaptations. However, despite high expectations, Snow White faced numerous challenges from the onset. Even before its release, Snow White was mired in controversy. Lead actress Rachel Zegler's remarks about the original film being outdated and misogynistic really alienated many fans.
I know that you've told me before that your version of Snow White is different and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
Instead of building anticipation, these comments sparked debates over whether Disney was undermining its own legacy, because they have a lot of original tales, fantasies, stories, and many felt that these new remakes were not authentic and they didn't really were not true to the original source material. In an era where nostalgia fuels box office success, alienating a core fan base can really be a costly mistake. Zegler's remarks and comments, combined with a general lack of enthusiasm from the cast during promotional interviews, led to a negative buzz online. Social media played a massive role in amplifying the backlash, with hashtags like #NotMySnowWhite trending for weeks.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
Disney's attempt to modernize Snow White extended beyond the marketing. It was embedded in the film's creative direction. Think about it, it's really hard to mess up a remake of Snow White. It's a classic tale and one that really is so nostalgic to many people that, people growing up in the 80s, 90s are wanting to bring their kids to the movies. One of the most controversial changes was the decision to replace the traditional 7 dwarfs with CGI characters labeled magical creatures. Think about it. Snow White and the 7 dwarfs is now just Snow White and some magical creatures. Fans felt these changes strayed too far from the cherished original, resulting in a disconnect that deterred potential viewers. Live-action remakes of The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast succeeded partly because they remained faithful to the source material while making small updates. And the music was good. I listened to, the Beauty and the Beast, the updated audio and the soundtrack, and it was good. Snow White, on the other hand, seemed determined to distance itself from the classic, which proved to be not just a small miscalculation, but a mistake of gargantuan proportions. The film's struggles didn't end with creative changes. The production was plagued with multiple challenges, script rewrites, on-set tensions, and delays from the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike. These issues inflated the budget to over $270 million, making it one of Disney's most expensive live-action films. To put this into perspective, the original Snow White and 7 Dwarfs had a budget of just $1.5 million. Adjusting for inflation, That's about 30 million today. The 2024 remake that had nearly 10 times that cost, yet failed to deliver the same cultural impact. When a film requires massive global success just to break even, any small misstep can be a disaster financially. Upon release, Snow White opened with a modest 43 million domestically and 44.3 million internationally, 87.3 million in the entire world globally in its opening weekend. This fell way short of projections and paled in comparison to the previous Disney live-action remakes. And remember, this is Disney, one of the top movie studios and productions. For context, The Little Mermaid earned over 250 million in its opening weekend, while Aladdin grossed over 1 billion worldwide. Snow White really struggled to find an audience, with weak word of mouth and poor critical reception contributing to its financial woes. Now, critically, the film received many mixed to negative reviews. Many critics praised Gal Gadot's performance as the evil queen, but criticized the film's lack of charm and over-reliance on CGI. Audience reception was even harsher, with many longtime Disney fans expressing disappointment over the film's execution. With Snow White struggling at the box office, Disney may need to rethink its strategy for live-action adaptations. Upcoming projects, like Hercules, will likely determine whether audiences still have an appetite for reimagined classics. Some fans argue that Disney should focus on creating new, original stories rather than rehashing animated classics. Others believe that live-action remakes can still succeed if they stay true to what made the original special. The question remains, will Disney learn from Snow White's mistakes, or will history repeat itself? The live-action Snow White serves as a cautionary tale for Disney, highlighting the delicate balance of storytelling between innovation and honoring beloved classics. Missteps in marketing, creative decisions, and production's challenges culminated in a film that was a disaster. It failed to deliver and resonate with audiences. But what do you think? Should Disney continue making live-action remakes, or is it time to move on and tell new original stories? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you for watching this video on the recent controversy and disaster that is the Snow White movie. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and this is it from BizOne.